Hi, welcome to Tuesdays to Create. I'm Amanda Schenkenberger, creator of Move the Mountains. We're talking about how to breathe out grace. And if you remember, breathing out grace is to have our words encourage, edify, bring peace and life. And we can do those things because we have a pure heart and we have discernment from the Holy Spirit. And we talked about pure heart last week and discernment from the Holy Spirit a couple weeks ago. So today, and the next couple of series, we're going to do a little bit of word study, and I'm a word nerd, so I'm really excited about this. Learning what words mean in their original context of the Bible is very important because Christians and non-Christians alike can get these wrong ideas about God and have shaky and faulty theology because they've just plucked verses out of the Bible and not seen it in the original context. And that's why a lot of Christians think that the Bible contradicts itself, or they don't believe it because they're like, this doesn't make any sense. So it's really important for us to learn how to study the word in context. With that being said, our verse focus is going to be First Thessalonians 5:11, which says, encourage one another and build one another up, just as you have been doing. So this is a letter from Paul, and he's writing to the Thessalonians, and he's saying you guys are doing a good job of this. And so I just looked up at dictionary.com, what does encourage really mean? Because sometimes I just think it's like a little pat on the back. And encourage means to inspire courage. And that's a lot bigger. And another definition from dictionary.com was to inspire the spirit with confidence. And I think that's really appropriate biblical definition. Now, all that is well and great. It's very exciting in English, but we really need to take the time and see what encourage means in the original Greek, because we're in the New Testament, and the New Testament was written in Greek. And so I'm not a Greek scholar, but I used Strong's Exhaustive Concordance. And Strong's Exhaustive Concordance is not infallible, but it's widely regarded as a very good resource to have. It's very valuable. And it's kind of exhaustive. It's really large. And so if you've never really used it before, I'm going to link to a video that just briefly tells you how you use Strong's Concordance as a reference guide. So that should be helpful for you. And you don't need the actual book. I mean, you could check it out at your library if you want. There's many places where you can find it free online. I've mentioned eSword before. eSword's an app that will help you study the Bible. It's a free app, and you can get Strong's Exhaustive Concordance in there. Or you can look it up on BibleHub.com. I had you guys go there last week. And then you can also look it up at BibleGateway.com, and it's all free. So you just have to learn how to use it, and then you can use those free resources. Now, what encourage means in the Greek in 1 Thessalonians 5:11, because the word encourage can be used in many different contexts in the Bible, and there could be a different word in that original language that means something similar, but there's not an exact translation. So that's just something you kind of learn with languages. Sometimes there's not an exact translation. But what it means in the Greek, in the context of 1 Thessalonians 5:11, is very much the same thing I've described. It means to call near, which is like I'm calling you near your purpose. And that's really exciting, because if you think about it like you being an athlete and I'm going to encourage you, then I'm telling you to dig deep and you can do it, and when you're tired and you want to give up, I'm there rooting for you and encouraging you and inspiring you. And then it also means sometimes, I'm there to help you nurse your wounds. I'm not there just to, ooh, you're doing a good job, nice pictures. I'm here to inspire you. And so I like to think of encourage about being an athlete, and I'm your coach, and I'm here to encourage you. So in the original context of the Greek, it's parakaleo, and I apologize if I just butchered that. Parakaleo. And it also means to beseech to call for, to be of good comfort, to give exhortation, entreat, to pray, to desire. And so to encourage in the biblical sense is very much along the same lines of inspiring courage. So that definition really excites me, and I hope it excites you. Today, our free printable that I've created is going to focus on encouragement. You're going to journal about a time where someone's encouraged you in this way. And you're going to write the specific result of them encouraging you. And that could be you decided to take action, or your spirit was really uplifted, or whatever it was, you're going to write the result. And then, thinking about the person or people group God has called you in this to breathe out grace on, I want you to ask God how He wants you to encourage them, and then ask Him what He wants the end result to be. Now, you can't control what other people do, obviously, but knowing God's end result can really be eye-opening and can really encourage you to persevere in the purpose He's given you. So now I'm going to go ahead and transition into the art portion, where we're actually going to focus on hand lettering Greek words.
Hand lettering is a skill. It isn't just fancy writing or calligraphy. It's more than that. It's about composing a visually pleasing piece of word art. It's about how your eye flows over the art, and it's challenging. I think it can almost be as challenging as learning how to draw well. And we tend to dismiss that because we're like, oh, it's just writing. Everybody can write. Well, no. This is different. This is definitely a level up. So I want you to start this with the expectation that this is an art form, because if you don't, you'll probably be disappointed with what you create if you give it the expectation of, oh, it's just handwriting. So we're going to go ahead and take 1 Thessalonians 5:11 and hand letter encourage in the Greek this week, and hand letter edify next week. So we're going to use only half our margin, which actually will make it easier on us, because when you compose a hand lettered piece, the smaller it is, the easier it is for you. So a few things about hand lettered art. They usually have some sort of border framing the words. And if you don't want a little border around yours, that's fine. You can have like an invisible border, but make sure to use a ruler to set out your definite lines, because you're going to want this to look contained. So we do the border first, and always in pencil unless you're a trained artist. Then you want to use your ruler to help you create the lines that you're going to write your words on. Otherwise, they can get pretty tilty, or the sizes can look pretty different. So make a lot of lines in between your borders. Then I have chosen to use the actual Greek word that Strong's gave me. The number I'm referencing is 3870. So you can look it up too if you want to go ahead and hand letter parakaleo. Or you can use the English. You could just use encourage and hand letter encourage if Greek looks too Greek to you. Now, even though this video is sped up for you, it takes a lot of time planning and erasing to hand letter something. And the bigger you make it, the more time it takes, because the easier it is to see your flaws. Many people who are into drafting or have like an architect sort of brain do really well with hand lettering. But if you're more of a free spirit, hand lettering might be a challenge for you, because it's a little bit rigorous. It can be tedious, and it's geared toward people who are a little bit more perfectionists. So if it turns out this is not your thing, then you don't have to do it again, but you should always give it a shot. Below, I have chosen to write the definition of encourage in English. And you are welcome to do the same or write Strong's definition or both, but I really like the encouraging someone's spirit with confidence one, so I'm going to pick that. Now, once you're happy with what you've done in pencil, take the finest micron pen you own, which for me is a 005, and ever so slowly trace the pencil markings. If you're feeling like you'd want to rush this part, you need to take a break and maybe go for a walk or come back to it tomorrow, because if you rush this part, it'll look like you rushed the whole thing, because this is the final permanent product. So don't steal from yourself by rushing this part. I've done it so many times. Just take your time, and if you need to come back to it, just come back to it later. During this portion, specifically where you're using the micron pen, remember to breathe. Because when we get uber focused, we have a tendency to hold our breath, and then when we take short, jerky breaths to get oxygen to our brains, it causes us to kind of twitch a little bit, and it can ruin hand-lettered art we have worked so hard on. So remember to be breathing consistently in and out. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube and you've enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are watching this in your email, thank you for subscribing to Tuesdays to Create. Don't forget to download your free journaling printable, and I'll see you all next week. Peace and love.